Hey. Oh man, that was Prescott, man. His pocket awareness, man, and as you seen, man, Romo definitely called him out, man, on a couple of his decisions, man. He had two people wide open in the seam, and he didn't make those throws, man. So hey, that's why I don't think getting any other receiver, will eliminate these problems. I just think that's where we're at, man. We need a better quarterback or a better quarterback play. I can't you can't blame it on the wide receivers, man. It just doesn't make sense. And then guys are out here, just not making the right reads, man. That's before snap, pre-snap. A couple of those things, man, has to be worked on during the week. Practice. So oh man, it's definitely not a good way to go into the bye, man. I definitely wanted to see a better effort, just with our offense, man. The offensive line probably had a bad game. I would say that there was a lot of holds, a lot of those things. But hey, you can't play like that in division games, man. You can't beat yourself, and that's what we did. We gave up a lot of penalties, and it wasn't the best performance. But hey, man, that's just the year we're gonna have with this NFC East, man. A lot of people will get upset with the winner or loss, but hey, I just feel like 9-7, man, that'll get us in the playoffs. Like me, I don't know about any other Cowboys fan, but I don't want to go 12-4 and 13-3. I don't want to go, almost undefeated and just to lose in the first game we play in the playoffs. I refuse to go through that, man. So hey, if this means that we're a little more relentless. We're not as comfortable, so we're going to keep having things to work on every week. That way we can't get too high, and I'm cool with that, man. I have um, no room to open up a comfortable situation where we're basically allowing the fact that we can't improve destroy our season. So I'm fine, man. I'm fine with this loss, man. Dak Prescott, man, he's just not cut. He's not doing it, man. Like, oh man, that turnover inside the five that killed us. That killed us, man. We still had a chance to win and a chance to do that, but hey, I don't think that was it, man. I think that play there, man, that cost us, man. So going forward, we'll be all right, man. We're just gonna have to um, keep improving, man. Like, hey, like I said, getting a new receiver doesn't change anything, man. But the defense played good again. The defense is hands down our strength. I made a joke with my homie, man, a few days ago that we used to our goal to win the game was to keep our defense off the field and keep our defense fresh. I think now it's the complete opposite, man. I feel like as long as our defense is on the field, man, it's a better way we can win, man. It gives us more hope. With our offense, man, if we can't score 20 points, man, we're gonna be in trouble. That's anybody, man. That's just like an NBA team can't get past 85 points or 90 points. It's 2018, man. If you can't score 25 points, 28 points, how do you expect to win a game in the NFL? When it doesn't matter how great your defense is, man. Like this day and age, man, you need to score points, man. You need to have a threat. And we don't have a threat, man. We don't have a threat as far as on the offensive side. Um, the one play, man, when they hit Zeke in the red zone, that was a good play, man. Like I like that. But why? But why is that Zeke? Why is that not Gathers? Why is that not someone with you can throw the ball up to? Since we don't have. number 88 number more anymore. You want to throw it up to Zeke? I don't. I'm questioning that play call, but I think we lost this game. Like I said, will have to be the quarterback play and then the trenches. In the trenches, man, we looked horrible. You can, like I said, you cannot have a division game and have penalties beat you constantly beat you. It was a couple plays, man, where Dak got away, got the first down, got some extra yardage. But if we're just going to keep giving up penalties, then it doesn't matter. If our defense is going to play great, and then we have maybe average quarterback play, and then you have penalties, how are you gonna win a game? How are you going to win a game? You cannot win a game with average quarterback play in this NFL. When when you're getting 4 or 5 penalties in the fourth quarter, when you're trying to get a comeback, like how does this happen? So going forward, man, I think it's a good time to go into the bye week. We definitely need a bye week, man. We may need two bye weeks, man. But hey, man, I definitely think we'll be all right, man. We just got to keep playing defense, man. Get Prescott more comfortable with the pre-snap adjustments. Let him know how to, motion someone over to the left if they have, if they're showing signs of a blitz, signs of pressure coming from that side. Like, why not? I don't see these pre-snap adjustments, man, and it has to kill Romo, man, because man, Romo is a magician, man, when it comes to the quarterback position. So like, um, you have to respect his opinion, man, because a lot of the times he's correct, man. He's calling out rollouts, bootlegs, Beasley wide open in the slot. This is what they're going for. It's a miracle, man. I just think we need to keep him. Um, if there was a way we could keep like a more like a veteran quarterback besides like Kellen Moore and Mike White, like who are these? Like, how do you have Dak Prescott your youngest quarterback, man? Like, you want to have this is the captain of your team. You want him to be able to go to anybody. You know, like someone that has veteran experience that knows what he's saying, that feels the pressure, things of that nature. You don't want to have him going to Kellen Moore. What? That's like Tyrone Lue going to Smush Parker or something, man. Like this is the thing, man. You have to have someone that is able to predict what the defense is going to do. That way, when Prescott sees it, man, he knows it. And Prescott, it's going to take him some time, man. And maybe he's just not that quarterback. That can be fine. That can be the truth. I don't think. I don't think that. I don't want to be too down on him. You know, he's still a young quarterback that was drafted in the fourth round. It's not like we got him top pick. So you have to understand that, man. So let me know, man. A lot of y'all are get too low on Dak, man. Like, you just have to understand who he is. He's not the quarterback that's going to be the best or the most aware of the pocket. So I just feel like right now that Dak Prescott has scan the field, man. Like, step up in the pocket. I was watching some highlights of him in college in Mississippi State and the SEC when they have damn near the top best, the top defenses in the country, and he used to go hard, man. They had these dudes number one in the country, so I definitely believe in him. But it's just the play calling with his confidence. I don't think a receiver would. I don't think getting a number one receiver like Amari Cooper or anybody. If you can have Odell Beckham, if you can throw the ball accurately, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. It doesn't matter excuse me. It don't matter who your receiver is. So we'll be all right, man. I definitely think you just got to keep on giving. Somebody said I'm not crying. Nah, man. I'm just probably a little under the weather, but nah, I'm definitely not crying, man. I'm pretty good, but nah, I just feel like I'm a passionate Cowboys fan, man, and I try to be a little more fair. I don't want to. Oh, fuck the Cowboys, man. They're trash. I'm not going because this last week, man, a lot of you guys were saying, "Oh, man, we can go to the Super Bowl. We beat Jacksonville. Jacksonville got the best defense. This, and this." But then the following week, we're saying, "Oh, we're trash. We can't make the playoffs." That's not me, man. I feel like we can definitely make the playoffs. Our division is not. It doesn't take 10, 15, or 10 to 15 wins. You can get 9 wins and still win the division, man. Like the Redskins didn't. They're not so much better than us, but we beat ourselves, man. We had stupid penalties. We didn't have the pre-snap adjustments. We didn't make certain blocks to make Prescott more comfortable in the pocket. So when you play like that and then you can't stop the run, like Peterson went off, man. He looked like Minnesota 28. And repeat, nah, man, he did his thing, man. It'll be all right, man. It's the division game, man. So we can wrap up, get this bye, get everybody healthy, and come back in 2 weeks, man. And we'll go from there. But let me know how y'all feel about Prescott's play this time, man. Because I feel like every week we're going to be discussing the same thing with the Cowboys, whether it's Prescott, penalties, offensive line. And like I said, the offensive line didn't play superb. They probably was one of their worst games. But that's a division game, man. They're going to pressure us. They're going to send extra blitzes. You got to prepare for that, and we didn't. But that doesn't mean we're not going to make the playoffs. The Redskins are actually playing pretty good this year. They're not the Deadskins. We got a little too much confidence. Because Dak and Zeke pretty much went undefeated against that team, but that doesn't mean nothing, man. We just gotta keep playing. You gotta improve. I do think the coaching is definitely probably more at fault. Like those plays we were doing in fourth quarter, man, were terrible. This the targets, and then Dak had two people wide open. Romo called it out, man. Like it has to make Romo sick, knowing that like yo, I can still do this right now. I can still do this right now, man. And then how the refs call these plays, or not the plays, but the penalties with the quarterbacks, man. Hey, man, we probably could have kept Romo healthy, man, but that's over and done with. But I can just Romo has to get back into coaching, man. Like I see a lot of things about putting Romo in like a head coach. No, I don't think he should be our head coach, but I definitely think he can be a quarterbacks coach. Like who's Kellen Moore? Like, do y'all know who Kellen Moore is? Like I'm only a fan of Kellen Moore because of Boise State. He did a great job in Boise State, but that's your quarterbacks coach. Like, why not get Tim Tebow? You could have got Tebow, Mark Sanchez. If you can take Kellen Moore as your quarterbacks coach, man, I would take anybody over him. Like, what has he done? He doesn't. He didn't even start a full season. So, like, I understand. You want to give people like a fresh start. Because he could possibly be something great, but maybe he should be an assistant quarterbacks coach or something like that. Let him get his feet wet. Like, but hey, like I said, man, I just feel like Prescott, man, regardless of what he does, he's always gonna miss throws. It's just that's his nature. But at least he's getting more keen to escaping the pocket, even though it's times where he should stay in the pocket, step up, get rid of the ball. But man, I don't know, man. I just feel like we have to establish identity, man. Like with the passing game, like who's gonna be our go-to receiver? Is there anybody that can get comfortable with that? Because it took Romo and Dez 3 years, but for some reason we don't want to be patient with these quarterbacks and running and receivers anymore. We expect everybody to jump in and be like Pat Mahomes, throwing 6, 7 touchdowns in their first game. But everybody's not like that, especially when you're not even drafting these people in the same position in the same draft or in the same round. So you have to look at the fact that you get what you are what you are. Dak is a fourth round quarterback. That's who he is. But going forward, I definitely feel like he has room to grow, and he's shown it. He's shown it during the last couple games. He's doing pretty good. But going forward, man, I think the coaches need to help him out, man. And I know I probably shouldn't say this because I definitely don't like the Eagles, but last year, man, how Doug Peterson just took control of that team when they had injuries and like to main positions like left tackle, quarterback, linebacker, and you can just like adjust, your offense just adjust that fast in like weeks without a drop off. If you can recall the injury to Carson Wentz and how Nick Foles just jumped in last year, and it was the same. It wasn't the same offense, but it was the same results, same passing yards, touchdowns. Like it wasn't much of a drop off. Where if you look at the Cowboys, we can lose one player like Tyron Smith, and it changes our whole offense. Like, can we do something to offset this injury? Offset the injury? Can we like maybe chip? Zeke's a big guy. Maybe he can chip a defensive end. But it's like I said, man. The coaching has to be better, man. And I don't know about y'all, man. I don't think Jason Garrett is one of those guys where he shouldn't where he's not responsible for play calling, like offense or defense. Like, nah, man, nah. We need to get an offensive coach that masters in offense or defense. That's it. I don't know what he. Jason Garrett is one of the best scouters. Draft maybe bringing in talent and this drafting. He's great. He's one of the best. He's probably the main reason why him and Will McClay that our drafting is actually improved. So give Jason Garrett, man, a spot in the front office or something, man. He shouldn't be the head coach. Is he a motivational speaker? Are we do we feel motivated by Jason Garrett when we're like coming out on the field or when we're in halftime? Like I just want to know, man. It doesn't make sense to me to sit up here and basically have a head coach that doesn't like specialize in anything. Like he's not, you're not the court. You're not dealing with Prescott on a one-on-one basis. Like, are you? Is your job to like master quarterbacks or improve quarterbacks? No, because we don't see too much involvement or improvement in the passing game. So are you trying to like basically stay like, oh no, I don't want to touch that because if this goes bad, they can't blame it on me. Like, is this the type of coach that we have that doesn't want to take responsibility for his mistakes or a play call? I don't like that, man. I don't like Jason Garrett, man. I just feel like uh, um, how he did Wade Phillips, man. A lot of y'all Cowboy fans know, man. He sabotaged Wade Phillips, man, to get the head coaching spot. I feel like we should do the same thing. You know, we should have thrown the ball before the last field goal. Yeah, we could have. We had it wasn't fourth down, and we had a timeout. But what killed us, like when Beasley caught that pass, we our hurry up offense was terrible. Like it took us forever just to get on the ball, like wasting time. Like that's this is what I mean. Like the practice doesn't work. It doesn't work, man. Like what are we practicing? Do we do a 2 minute offense during the week? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like we hurried up as fast as we could, spike the ball, second down. We got time. It looks like they were playing it safe. They wanted to go to overtime. And then what probably hurt us was the penalty on the long snapper. Like penalties cost us this game. And to be more dominant, we can be a dominant team. We can have dominant wins as you've seen last week. All we have to do is get up on the scoreboard and then we can pressure all game. It's not hard. It's not hard, man. We can use this play action. I understand we don't have the best receivers, but at some point your quarterback has to make your receiver. if you want to get paid $100 million plus 120 million, 140 million, you have to make a receiver. You have to make a receiver. All the great ones make receivers. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. Even Fitzpatrick, man, he's making some receivers for maybe 4 or 5 games, but he's making guys stars, man. And Romo is the perfect example, man. It doesn't matter who Romo had, from Patrick Creighton's and Miles Austin's, and like the only person that he struggled with was Roy Williams. Yeah, bro. Oh man, but that's like the only person he struggled with as far as like growing continuity, timing, and all that, man. That dude Romo, man, he did it with Keyshawn Johnson, Terrell Owens. Oh man, you can name it. Terry Glenn. Like who's like, come on, man. Prescott, you costing people their jobs, man. And I don't want to blame it all on you, as to why Dez Bryant's not on our team, but not even to say that, Dez Bryant will actually uh, benefit in our system. I don't see any great, I don't see any like number one receiver that doesn't like specialize in speed or separation. I don't see them like putting up good numbers with Prescott. Prescott, man, the dude has to be wide open, man. That's how I'm looking at it. I don't see him throwing anybody open. I don't see him out here basically throwing the ball throwing the ball before the receiver's there. It's based off of trust, and like it could be. It doesn't have to be all his fault, but when you don't play any games in the preseason, like what do you expect? You want to do the preseason drills in the first 3 4 weeks of the regular season? Like no, that's what we did. If you looked at Prescott's play, man, the first couple games, it was horrible. It was horrible, man. It was horrible. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we have AB or Thielen from the Vikings. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your quarterback cannot confidently stay in the pocket with great footwork and analyze the field. It doesn't matter who the receiver is. It doesn't matter. We seen it last year with this. It doesn't matter who it is. So I feel like, man, going forward, man, we have to really either look at these quarterbacks coming up. I'm a big fan of Kyler Murray. Everyone's high on Tua from the Sooners or whatever, but I like Kyler Murray, man. But we may have to look into drafting a quarterback. But I don't think getting a receiver is going to fix anything. It's going to be the same thing, man. Because like a couple of these guys that we have now, they made plays prior to playing with Prescott. Like Allen Hurns put up 1,000 yards with Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles that got benched today for somebody that nobody probably watching knows, but he put up 1,000 yards with him. We have Beasley, man. That's like, how is Beasley our number one producing receiver? The guy that just doesn't score touchdowns when he's like wide open. Like he can have so much space and he gets caught. It's a lot of his touchdowns, man. Like you would think he had so much separation and you think he was fast, but then he gets hawked down. That's why I kind of wanted Ryan Switzer, man, to develop and become, a primary target for Dak because his yak yards after the catch, he's a beast. But like I said, Beasley's probably the best we got, man. So I can't knock Beasley right now, man. Wipe his shoes off. Too much sauce. Do your thing, man. But I can't be mad at him right now. Right now, I think, man, it's just all Prescott. It's all Prescott, man. And once he like, I think he may need some quarterback competition, man. He needs somebody that's gonna step in and make him be concerned about his job. Like right now, man, who's gonna take Prescott's job on our roster right now? Jason Garrett? Cause Jason Garrett, man, he ain't playing. He be out there warming up like Dak, man. Listen, next game I'm getting in. We gonna bench you at half. Like who you gonna bench at the halfway mark and put in the game? That's on our roster right now. Let me know, y'all. Let y'all whoever's watching, man. Let me know. Like that's the problem right there. You're not going. You're not going. If you're Allen Iverson, I'm not saying Dax Allen Iverson, but that's one of my favorite basketball players. But if you're Allen Iverson, you're not worried about Eric Snow coming off the bench and taking your spot or Aaron McKee. And even me being calling Aaron McKee or calling Mike White and Cooper Rush Aaron McKee, that's a disgrace on Aaron McKee's part. Aaron McKee did something in the, but that's just me, man. I just feel like we definitely need to get somebody in there to put some pressure on him. And none of them guys are, man. I don't see none of them guys getting any snaps. They're not going to bench Dak for Mike White or Cooper Rush. It's not going to happen. Even though they might have a better pocket awareness than Dak, they don't trust none of them guys, man. So I don't understand why they carry two quarterbacks anyway that were younger than Dak, no, were less experienced than Dak. It doesn't make sense, man. So hey, going forward, man, it's definitely execution. A lot of people preach that. I watch Voch Lombardi a lot, man. McCoy, the Law, Foots the King. Them guys, man, they entertain me during the week, man, because I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, and the good thing about the YouTube experience is that um, you get honest and raw opinion. You don't get people saying so and so for the ratings or just to have people watch it. You get to really hear people's opinion, and it's honestly their opinion. We don't A lot of people don't get paid for this, man. This is just we love doing it just for the passion of the Cowboys, man. You know. So I'm definitely mad over the loss, but we'll be all right, man. We just put some band-aids on. Hopefully, it wasn't too many injuries, and we get back. Chill for 2 weeks. Come back in 2 weeks. Come back strong, man. I'm not really sure who we got after the bye, but hopefully they got our best game coming. We can go back to the drawing boards, draw up uh, some better production or some more plays that you can call in a 2 minute offense, because that was horrible, man. Up until that turnover in the red zone or the penalties we caused on that on a few fourth quarter rushes, or not rushes but drives. We can't make those mistakes, man. Not in division games. So I feel like we definitely beat ourselves, man. We could have came back and won that game, and we played horrible on offense, man. We didn't do Zeke didn't do too much. If anything, the linebackers and the defensive tackles of the Redskins, they played their butts off, man. They played their butts off. That was a great game. I have to respect them, man, for that. They played their butts off. But we just have to execute better, man. It was a couple. Collins was getting beat. It was a holding call with him, Connors, and Tyron Smith, man. I don't know. Tyron Smith, man. I understand people are getting stronger, more talented. There's always more innovation, with these pass rushers. But Tyron Smith, man, he doesn't look the same to me, man. He doesn't look like the guy, the monster. Like he put them paws on you. You ain't going nowhere. He doesn't look like that too much anymore. I don't know if it's like the offensive line coach, because even before then, he was looking like more average, and he was like a superior athlete. He used to look like the best, hands down, left tackle in the league. And now some people they just give or randomly throw somebody else over him. Like, so, hey, man, I don't know. All I know is, man, losing Romo made everything look a little worse, man. The actual offensive linemen don't look comfortable anymore. We don't look like we have any Pro Bowl linemen. Zach Martin doesn't look great. It's not Travis Frederick, because we had him last year, and the offensive line still didn't produce. So going forward, man, I definitely feel like we had to execute better on the offensive line and the passing plays. Like, Garrett has to take some responsibility, man. Like, you just can't just keep being a head coach and you don't want to call defense or call offense. I don't like that. I just feel like you should do something. Like it's only a few great coaches that that they don't call any plays, like Mike Tomlin. But Mike Tomlin, he looks like a no nonsense guy, man. Like he can motivate you. He can get you to get up off your ass and make something happen. And I'm not saying Jason Garrett's not that guy, but it doesn't look like it. Like who's playing motivational football on our offense? It just doesn't. You can't blame any one person, but as a team, we just look bad, and that's not. And that was never our offense before Romo. Like, oh man, like our off like we Romo made some idiot plays sometimes, but he also made Hall of Fame great plays. So yeah, I feel the same way. I just feel like maybe it's a sabotage sometimes, man. Maybe a lot of people don't like how they did Des Bryant. So you can jump off the cliff and say Jason wouldn't retire because of how Des Bryant got treated. You waited until 4 or 5 weeks after the first wide receiver got signed in free agency to release him after the draft and everything. But back to the point, I just feel like going forward, man, you have to execute better with the passes, man. I feel like the head coach has to be more responsible. He just can't sit back and just let people under him mess up the team. Like, yo, this is your job's on the line, so you got to be a little more angry, man. Like, I know if I'm the boss and somebody under me is causing me to look bad in front of my boss. Oh no, let me get your job, man. Let me get your duties. It's all right. Go to the side. We can discuss it. If I need anything, I'm gonna call you. But I'm not getting fired because of you. I'm not getting fired because of what your decision was. But then Jason Garrett, man, he doesn't make the best choices of even this year. It was times, man. He went for it on 4th and 1 after he didn't go for it on 4th and 1 against that Texans game. When we were beating Jacksonville, he wants to go for it on fourth. Like, what are you doing? Like, our defense is balling this game, But like I said, man, I can't. When Beasley's your go-to and he's just a slot receiver, it's a little dry. You gotta put some Kool-Aid on it, throw some sugar in it, stir it up a little bit. Like, I just feel like, man, do y'all really have to like change your whole philosophy because Dak Prescott may not be who y'all thought he was? So if you change your quarterback, everything changes. You have to put a couple more years on a delay to get the quarterback up and ready, improve continuity with the receivers, tight ends. Like if Prescott's not the guy, man, it's a setback for at least 2, 3 years. Like everything we did with him was a waste of time. Trying to get trying to get him with more weapons. Talking about a Dak friendly offense. I don't. What's friendly about our offense for Dak? Dak still looks like he's struggling. Dak is not getting 300 yards easy, or even 200, 250. A couple quarter man, Romo used to put up 300 passing yards before the fourth quarter even started. I just feel like if you give Romo this defense that we have right now, because Romo, man, he didn't need a go-to wide receiver, man. That was like the Joneses bringing those guys in, bringing in bigger names and all that. But Romo never needed a number one receiver. I don't think he did, man, because he made so many people. Who was Miles Austin before draft night? Who was he? Was he getting any coverage on ESPN? Was he in a mock draft? Was Mel Kiper talking about him? Was Todd McShay saying anything about Miles Austin? Turned that man into a well-paid man. It's like the one guy, Lauren Robinson, man, the dude that went down to Jacksonville, and he's probably not even in the league no more. But what did he do with Romo? So that's what you got to understand, man. Like quarterbacks, great quarterbacks make receivers, and Hall of Fame receivers make quarterbacks. Just like Calvin Johnson when he was in college, Georgia Tech. I think his quarterback was like Ball. I think his last name was Ball. But people were only talking about him because he was throwing the ball to Calvin Johnson in college. So hey man, we'll be all right, man. I'll probably go on drop another video and later on tonight, man, or maybe tomorrow. I'm probably going to watch some film that Vach does, cause he always, man, he always breaks down Prescott. But I like Okoye, man, cause I feel like he doesn't play with Dak, man. He gives him that raw criticism that you need. So I'm gonna let y'all get out of here, man. I didn't want to take up some of your time, but go Cowboys, man. Y'all have a good weekend.